an exact replica of what that used to look like.
I wonder what I'm going to wish for. I wish for this boat. I don't have any wishes left. I feel like I'm engaging my inner caveman. Okay, that's good. Did you do this? My woodwork teacher would be proud.
It's taken a bit longer than I thought it was going to, but...
Zach?
Yeah?
Guess what?
What?
It's my birthday! We're Becca and Zach, a couple who recently, after years of dreaming, bought ourselves a beautiful 40-foot Colvic Victor sailboat. Life is short and the world is wide and there are so many lessons to be learned. Laughs shared, people met, adventures had, and nautical miles to be sailed. And this is our way of sharing it all with you. Welcome to the Tay-Lee. Bloody doing it! You may or may not have noticed in the last vid that our rather DIY main sheet setup was gone. In the space of the carabiner, we had an as-new car which ran beautifully along the Traveller. However, like many things, if you want something fixed rather than replaced, it does take a little bit more time. So let's hop back to the end of March when we first realised there was an issue with it. I need to replace this whole thing. It A, doesn't run very well, and B, one of these doesn't even turn.
It's so jammed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That definitely doesn't come off either, does it? That's original.
Yeah, I think so.
It's so seized up, that's just going to wreck the lines if we put those through there. Oh,
We just had such a successful visit. They can replace, luckily, just the sheaths in the actual car, which is so nice. We were thinking we'd have to replace the whole thing, and they can just take it apart, replace the bits that are broken and put it back together. And then we also showed them the end stopper for the Traveller to stop the car from sliding off the end, and this is how it looks at the moment.
I've never seen a bit of nylon plastic like that.
It's just so... This is a 1987. It's a relic.
Yeah,
but
I imagine it's original. I've never seen something corrode quite like that.
No, it's brittle and it's just flaking plastic off. And the woman in there said, "Wow, look at that!" But they can replace those too. I'm feeling really happy.
Yeah, it's nice we get to reuse something instead of throwing away a whole system.
We're all about sustainability on this boat. Although the car would take a few weeks to fix, just a couple of days later the end stops arrived in store, and although they were meant to fit our Traveller, they unfortunately didn't. With these being the only solution, we started figuring out ways to make them fit. Until...
So I went to a different shop which basically has like a surplus of like older stuff. I think they basically take apart old boats and stuff like that and like sell on their parts. Mm-hmm. And in there they had 2 of these in a bucket full of parts. Yeah. Which I think an exact replica of what that used to look like, even down to the like inner like moulding or how they're like made. And it's like it's perfect. I think that would have been exactly the same whenever this was made originally.
That's crazy to look at the difference between that and that.
Yeah, because it's even down to those like slanted bits on there. It's exactly the same.
That's so lucky.
I know, and it was the only 2 in there, and it was in like a drum full of stuff. And I asked the guy if he had any in there. He was like, "I don't know. You've just got to go and search for it in the shop." And I found one, and then the bucket next to it, I found the other one.
That's so good. A few weeks later, our car was ready, and after a quick clean. It was time to test it out.
You hear that? I have no idea. Google it.
It says, "How will I know if there's a nuclear emergency? The naval base siren will give the emergency signal a rising and falling wailing note."
Well, no one's running around, so... But these are the 2 old stoppers. I'm going to keep that one because it's still got a little bit of life in it. It's a little bit knackered, so we don't want it there at the moment. But if something does happen to one of the other ones, it's nice to know we've got a spare, because I can't imagine we're ever going to find another one of these spares again after all of that. I mean, being in a place like we are at the moment, we've got probably the best supply of spare old parts of boats that we're ever going to have. So we're going to keep that. But that one is pretty knackered.
Do the deed.
Yeah.
It's peeling apart. That's crazy. I know what you're thinking. Surely that's not another hatch you were lifting up. And yeah, it is. Since the galley hatch repair a few weeks ago, we've kept a close eye on all our other hatches, which is why during the last torrential rainstorm we noticed our cabin hatch was leaking on 2 corners, so it's time to pull it up and repeat the process. However, with sealant which was much stronger than before and bolts that just wanted to spin, we had to think outside the box a bit. So to stop the powdered Sikaflex falling on our bed, we have a mosquito net and we decided to put it on, because otherwise that would all just fall on our duvet. So it's working well, except occasionally we knock the mosquito net. It's all there, as you can see, but hopefully we can just hoover that up and we won't have loads of Sikaflex in our bed. That would be great. Finally, after many hours, a few bottles of beer and the help of our good friend Ben, the hatch finally came up. Also, you know what I said about our genius way of stopping Sikaflex getting on our bed? Yeah, that fell down and this happened. Did you do this?
No, I didn't.
Who did?
You did.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Morning, Becca. Could do with another bolt, really.
I don't really know how it's best to do this without like risking your fingers away.
Why don't you just sand it back a little bit?
I don't think that. Well, I might as well get some of it off.
I'm sure you won't, but please don't cut yourself.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Thanks. It's actually a really blunt Stanley knife. That's why it's hard. I feel like I'm engaging my inner cavewoman, sharpening my tools. Is that what you're doing?
Taking this foam out so I can get the bolts on the other side.
Why is there foam?
I don't know. Right, find the bolts. There's one.
That is
Maybe
weird.
that's where he thought the initial leak was coming from.
Yeah, but putting foam on it should be
You can see all of that now, can't you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see this.
Okay, mind the nails there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get really grubby again. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
We don't want them tight, do we?
Which one next?
Actually, quite a lot of Sika came out then.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that might have been a bit too tight.
No, it's not. There's still a gap.
What a good feeling for all those bolts to be on. Flowers! Oh, my favourite pepper experience here. Thank you so much. I think it's lovely. Thank you so much. Love you. It was my birthday, and as much as I wanted to continue on and cross things off the list, I forced myself to stop boat jobs just for the day, to take a bit of a break. Not that I would have it any other way, but since getting Tay-Lee, it's been pretty full on with work, and it was so nice to slow down and enjoy the first of many both days, as Zach calls them, on Tay-Lee. Birthday swim! Here goes. Cheers. Best year yet. Even Tay-Lee's squeaking for me, Zach. Zach?
Yeah?
Guess what?
What?
It's my birthday!
Happy birthday to you.
Oh!
Happy birthday to you, dear. The next guy next door's looking for you.
Aww. That's so fun! Oh my gosh, it's got freeze-dried strawberries on top. Strawberry and white chocolate. Oh, I wonder what I'm going to wish for. I wished for this boat and now I don't know, I don't have any wishes left. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. I wonder what the next year will bring. Got me.
Leave it. No.
Should we eat the whole thing tonight? You're so lovely, Zach. The next day, we were full swing back into boat jobs and decided to take on a project which was not essential at all, nor something we had the faintest idea how to do, and that was making a cockpit table. We picked up 4 marine grade stainless steel hinges and a slab of oak and were all set to fit it when I dropped the tape measure into the water while getting on Tay-Lee. Dull. 25 metres down in a fast current. It wasn't likely we would get it back, but it was worth a shot.
Yeah? About there?
Yeah.
It's going off an angle already.
Oh my gosh, it's gone really at an angle.
Becca, I'm not hopeful right now.
It's kind of fun. No surprises here, but after trying a magnetic knife holder on some string, and yet a fishing rod, and even a recovery magnet, we had no luck retrieving that damn tape measure, so we said our farewells and continued on with the table mission.
Three main pieces of the table are all cut now. I'm just using the line duplicator to basically go onto the mast, and that was the mast, put it around it and get basically a bit that I need to cut out of this main bit so I can get them to fit. So that's what I'm on about. Got the table pretty much fitted around here. It's not the prettiest of jobs in the world. It's pretty spot on. I'm happy with how level it is. Almost got there now. All of the bits are carved out, so they're going to sit in there like that. And then I just need to tidy it all up and just sand off some bits which I've scuffed and marked. And then after that, I'll be done. Finally, it's taken a bit longer than I thought it was going to, but last little bit now.
Positive thinking there, Zach. We didn't quite realise, but the hinges we got would have meant the folding sides would sit lower than the main section and therefore not flush with the surface, which meant it was time to rethink the hinge situation entirely. Have some success, which is nice. So I went to a timber place. They had a massive, like, I don't know, like the wall length saw, and it was really, really cool. And they put my little piece of oak on it. The machine just swallowed it. They are waiting for new blades for that machine to come, and they're going to come by the end of the week. And they didn't want to try it in case it just shredded it, because it's a nice piece of oak. They then gave me a few other places to ring, so I rung those, and they were big timber merchants, and none of them would do it. And then one of the places recommended a guy. He was called Mike, and he was from Mutley Joinery, so they recommended me to give him a call. And lo and behold, he said, bring it in, we'll see what we can do. And I took it there, and he got the table saw and he just cut the pieces, and look at how straight they are. Look at that line. He literally just like, and I got chatting to him about, you know, our plans on the boat, and I explained why I couldn't buy my own tools, because obviously we have a boat and we need as little things as possible. Zach would go crazy if I went out and bought a table saw, but he ended up not charging me, which was just the sweetest thing. And we had a great chat about travel and life, and it was a really, really lovely time. So if you're in Plymouth and need any joinery done, definitely check out Mike at Mutley Joinery, because he was a lovely guy. I'm really grateful that he cut those bits for me. So now we can learn from our mistakes, because obviously we cut the hinges out and we didn't need those bits. But now I've gone for some butterfly hinges. I had to order them. I looked everywhere for those as well and nowhere had any. So I've gone for some self-supporting flat hinges, which are stainless steel, and they will go on top. It'll all be great. Look what arrived in the post, you guys. They're stainless steel, so they shouldn't rust. And they're gonna go on top as opposed to in it. But what I'm gonna try and do today, which I've never done in my life, I'm going to make these flush in the table. And it's oak, so it's super hard. So I've got my chisels ready. I'm a little bit nervous, if I'm honest. The wood is so nice and I really don't want to mess it up. But I guess the absolute worst case scenario is we just get it planed if I really do mess up. But that's not going to happen, positive thinking. However, before I could even start the chiselling process, my dad gave me a ring and said they were coming down that weekend and he had a router which he could bring. Dad's always saving the day.
Oh, that looks perfect.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
That looks
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah. It might not work when it's all screwed together.
Oh, don't say that.
Look at that.
Well, there you go. There is a table.
Look at that.
Oh, fantastic.
What a great feeling. So it's really raining outside and I thought it would be the perfect time to sand the table and wax it. We decided to go with beeswax to protect it for lots of different reasons, mainly because it's natural, it's hard wearing, we can top it up, it cleans it nicely, it polishes it, it fills in gaps, there's lots of reasons. We didn't want to go for like these harsh chemical wood gloss or marine yacht varnish or whatever. We don't want to do it with that. So I'm going to try this, and if after a while we feel like it's not cutting it, then we will get something else, but we wanted to give this a go first. But I've got to sand it and clean it first, so that's the job now. My woodwork teacher would be proud. No time to stop and enjoy the table quite yet. The wonky ensign needed fixing. We then spent the evening raising the height of the mizzen sheet so it didn't keep rubbing on the aft hatch. Job well done.